Hey friends, welcome to One Flight Down Basement Beer Tastings and part 2 of the 2023 Pumpkin Beer Showdown!
Happy, happy Halloween, 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 happy, happy Halloween.
One flight down.
Alright, here we go. Round 2. I got 2 beers that I'm really excited about today. I'm not going to waste any time. I'm just going to get right into what they are. The first one came to me from my buddy Drew. You may know him as Brew, beer for breakfast, facts for snacks. He sent me this one from the Bobcaygeon Brewing Company. It's a pumpkin spice latte. It's called Sweet Tooth. They do this weird thing with this beer, their beers. They put the name of it there, and yeah, it's kind of confusing. But it's called Sweet Tooth. It's pumpkin spice latte. 8.1% alcohol. Whew. 8.1. Doesn't really give any other notes on the can. No tasting notes, IBUs, nothing like that. And the next one we have from the Indeed Brewing Company in Minnesota. This is a pumpkin spiced pistachio cream ale. Come on. Cream ale with natural flavors added. Carve it open. Where does it say? 5.5% alcohol. 15 IBUs. And yeah, I picked this up actually when I was in Minnesota a few weeks ago. And I did try it on the trip, but I had a few drinks at that point. So I know I liked it. I liked it enough to think I got to bring that home and put it in the Pumpkin Beer Showdown. But I really can't remember much about it. So, yeah, they both sound really promising. I know Brew really liked this beer. He did a review on that a little while back. You should check that out. But this is the one that's in my hand first. So we're going to start with the 8.1%. I don't know if that's... usually I would work the other way, but I already said I'm doing it. So that's what I'm doing. 8.1% Bobcaygeon Brewing Company Pumpkin Spice Latte. All right, let's see how this pours out. Now, I did see Drew's video on this, but I honestly can't remember much about it other than he really liked it. It's lighter in color than I was expecting. I don't know why I was thinking it was going to be so dark, but I did. I guess it's just the... Yeah, it doesn't say that it's a dark beer. It doesn't say it's a stout or anything like that. I think it's just the alcohol content was kind of reminding me of, like, one of the ones I did last week was more of like an imperial pumpkin ale, and it was a lot darker, from what I remember anyway. So there's not much head on this, really. Color is beautiful, though. It does look like, like you'd expect a pumpkin beer to look. Kind of like a deep orange almost in there. All right, let's check this out on the nose. Didn't leave much room to swirl this around or anything. Okay, I'm getting pumpkin on the nose. I'm getting, maybe it's like a bit of clove or something. I think it's clove. Maybe a touch of cinnamon. Yeah, that's what I'm getting on the nose. All right, let's go in for a sip. Cheers. So the first thing that hits me is this really creamy mouthfeel. And I said it took me a minute to notice the cinnamon on the nose. Cinnamon. It's like it didn't hit me right away, but then bang, it's just like a punch in the face with cinnamon. I get cinnamon way more than I get pumpkin on this. I get the pumpkin more on the back end. That is nice. I almost feel like my mouth should feel drier or something after tasting that much cinnamon. That's a nice medium-bodied beer. Yeah, like I said, the pumpkin is more in the back end of this. And man, cinnamon. Bam! Cinnamon. Damn, that is a nice beer. Wow. Yeah, alright. Man, I feel like I need to do like a palate cleanse or something before I move on to this other one here. Yeah, I just had to drink a little bit of water there. I think that the cinnamon is very overpowering on that beer, and if I just went immediately into the next one, I'd probably still be tasting it. So I want to make sure I give them both a fair shake here. All right, now moving on to the Indeed pumpkin spiced pistachio cream ale. As I said, they're from Minnesota. Did I say where in Minnesota? Minneapolis, right there in Minneapolis. Great town. All right, let's crack this open. And see how this one pours out. I was just going to say, probably a bit lighter. Because it is a cream ale. So I was picturing it would look like kind of your typical cream ale. That is super light colored, though, compared to the other one. And again, they're totally different beers, right? This one's a cream ale. This one's like a pumpkin latte beer. This one's got pistachio in it. They're quite different, but I'm just surprised just how different the color is on these. On the nose. Oh, there's a intense sweetness there. Oh. Oh man, the pistachio. And it's not even so much just like pistachio, but it's like pistachio cream. Like, my girlfriend always says that like she really likes pistachio pudding more than actual pistachio, and that's what I'm getting here is that creamy kind of like a pistachio. It's more like that, yeah, like pudding kind of thing. It smells incredible, so sweet, totally different from the other one. All right, let's go in for a sip. Cheers. Okay. I'm getting the pistachio way more than the pumpkin. I said the other one, I was like more cinnamon and pumpkin on the back end. I'm barely getting pumpkin on this. I'm just getting so much of that pistachio taste. I mean, I guess, yeah, there's the pumpkin's there, but it's not the overwhelming flavor. It's that pistachio cream. Yeah, that is a really nice beer. Completely different from the other one. Oh man, I couldn't have picked two more different styles for today's pumpkin beer showdown. I feel like if I put the Bobcaygeon in with either of the ones I did last year, it would be a little closer between them. This one is just it's just its own thing. It's so good, so different. Definitely more of a dessert beer. It'll take me a little while to finish this one. It's very creamy. The mouthfeel on this one's a lot more smooth than the other. I don't know if that makes it a better beer. I'm going to go back into the Bobcaygeon again. Jeez. Seriously, they look and taste. They're just such completely different beers. Oh man. It's gonna be hard to pick one. I'm going to give the edge. Ever so slight edge. Oh, man. It's hard to pick because they're so different. This is a fantastic dessert beer. It's so unusual. I've never had anything quite like it. It's very sweet, but in a really, really good way. I could sip that slowly for a while. Although I don't know if it gets a bit warmer, if I'm still going to enjoy it as much. Man, but I really like that. And then this one. This is, I think it's more traditionally what you'd want out of a pumpkin beer. I love this time of year because I love pumpkin beers. It's a little more traditionally what you would get, although it's very, very strong on the cinnamon. Yeah, it's a tough call. I mean, this is more traditionally what I would want. This one is, I guess, total points for originality. Man, given the edge to Bobcaygeon. That's I may. You gave me another minute, I might change my mind. I don't know, but I had to pick something, and I'm picking this. They're both really solid beers, and they both incorporate the pumpkin into it in much sort of different ways. This one a little more traditional, but then it's like that cinnamon on it. It's just gives it such a different flavor. I'm really curious to see how this is going to go up against last week's winner, which was probably the most traditional pumpkin beer that I've featured so far. It's going to be interesting. All right. Like I said, both solid beers. If you can get your hands on either one of them, I highly recommend it. But the winner, the one that's going on to the finals at the end of the month, is the Bobcaygeon Pumpkin Spice Latte, a.k.a. Sweet Tooth. All right. Thank you, friends, for dropping by the Terry Isle Basement Pub. Thank you to Drew for sending me this beer. And, I hope you'll all make it in for the next one next week. Round 3, who's going to be competing? I don't even know yet. I know one of them for sure, but I'm not going to tell you. All right. Cheers, my friends. Thank you so much for dropping by.
I'm tired and I need to go home. Been here all week just